Hey, everybody. This is Dominic D'Angelo of WrestleZone.com, and I am happy to have with me here my degenerate brother, Marcus D'Angelo, and we are two. How many, Marcus?
Two of them.
Yes.
More than one. Less
More
than
than
three.
one. Less than three. Just two Dynamite Dudes with attitude. And we're here to recap AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash Night 2. Not Night 1, but Night 2. So,
two Dynamite Dudes. Serendipity.
A lot of deuces being dropped tonight.
Serendipitous.
Marcus, quite the interesting main event. I think that's the place to start, is the main event. TNT title defense for Darby Allin against the Machine Brian Cage. He faced down that big man and defeated him. What did you think of that main event and how it all tied together with Sting at the end?
You know, man, there's good spot fests and there's bad spot fests, and there were a lot of high spots in this match. Quite a few high spots in this match, but like they did it the right way. They had some pretty much all their high spots hit, and they didn't look too coordinated. Like all of them were very, very smooth. You've got two guys who are a couple real pros in the ring and really have very good body awareness. And dude, like some unbelievable stuff happening during this match where like this is the kind of match that you need to draw in fans that you wouldn't have had before. If somebody turned on the channel and they stuck around because they saw Chris Jericho and they're like, I wonder what else they have. Like that kind of thing. That's the sort of thing that's got people saying like, hey, next week I want to see what these guys do. That was incredible. You know? So like, I mean, let's start with that. Brian Cage, he catches Darby Allin on this Topa Con Hero, if I'm saying that.
Yes.
He catches him.
Ask Excalibur. Are you saying it? If you're saying it right.
So if I ask Excalibur, he's just gonna shout it at me 8 fucking times. But he catches him in like a suplex position on the Topa Con Hero and just suplexes him on the outside. Unbelievable. Then he throws him through a table. Looks like
that was fucking nuts.
Looks like he went 15 to 20 feet.
And the table disintegrated.
Yes, the table just got ethered. Incredible. Darby getting juice, I thought was great. As a result of the table, I guess he cut himself on the table or whatever, but or at least storyline. And so, I mean, he got juice. And again, you're raising the stakes. It's already that Brian Cage is a much bigger competitor than he is. And now it's like you're getting even more sympathy. Like, man, this guy's bleeding. He's getting the crap kicked out of him. But yeah, it's up to plenty of drama, plenty of ups and downs. We got a good spot between Sting and Ricky Starks. Just man, unbelievable.
Ricky Starks on ringside too, when Darby's kicking out and stuff, is some good reactions.
And it's back in the day, you didn't need like the world champion in the main event. Sometimes it was Razor Ramon and Rick Martel for the Intercontinental Championship in the main event. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I thought that it was great, and it really put a good shine on these two. The only thing that I would change, Dominic, and then I'll let you talk about the finish. The only thing that I would change is the finish. And in that, I think it's fine that Brian Cage got pinned. I don't think that it hurts him. However, I think that another way to kick this can down the road, and certainly a better way to keep Cage strong against a much smaller competitor, is how about disqualification, where Cage just gets so fed up because he keeps kicking out. And it was a perfect setup too. He kept kicking out at one, and he just couldn't keep this little bastard down. And how about he gets so damn frustrated that he takes him outside the ring and just whoops him until the 10 count happens and he gets disqualified. Or like he uses a weapon or something.
Nah. Here's a good. Well, I'll get to that reason here in a second. But let me say, I'm with you. This match was the match of the night, and it was well played off. And to all that, those high spots were done the right way, and they made sense. And what it did for both guys was it really played into it, got them both over in what they needed to do in their roles. Like Cage was just the heavy that just dominated. I think it really defined him further as this powerhouse ass kicker that's dangerous, and you cannot he's pretty damn unstoppable. I think that really played to him, and just that immediate spot of him catching Darby with the tope and just suplexing him was a good way to start that all off. And then he just further exuded his power and like muscled him around. And then it played to Darby's role of being this scrappy fighter that doesn't fucking back down and like ends up, the fighting scrappy champion that you want to see. And that you want to see further develop and have feuds with other people too. And you want to go on that journey further with him too. Not just the course of his TNT title run, but maybe further on even. So really sets both those guys up in such a great way, I feel. And as far as the loss goes, it was kind of cool because and Taz kind of like dispelled some of it a little bit, but I feel it still kind of plays neatly into the storyline, is that when Darby Allin lost to Cody Rhodes, he lost via a crucifix, or like it got reversed on him. And so Taz was trying to give him friendly advice and saying, hey, this is a certain way to do it. You did it wrong. This is how you do it. And Darby's like, no, I know what I'm doing. And then walks away, and boom, that's when the feud of Taz and Darby starts. And then look who he beats is his adversary, is Taz's client, Brian Cage, with the crucifix pin. So he did it right. And and that's the thing too, is with these disqualifications, that's something AEW doesn't do. So, I mean, you could pull that trigger once in a while, but if you tend not to do that, then don't do it, I guess, So,
it's doing it the way that WCW did it, which was basically every single Nitro or every main.
Right. And WWE does it now all the time, too. It's like a nonstop.
And you can't have it. But, like, I think the fact they don't do it very often, I think it could have worked for this match. But, no, I mean, you make a good point. As far as that crucifix situation goes, where if Taz was telling him how to do it and then he actually nails it and pins one of Taz's guys, there's some poetry there,
Yeah, right. And that's like a little tip of the cap to paying attention to the show. So, I really like this match. I like both guys in it. I like everybody involved in it, too. From Taz to Starks to Sting. And obviously, we're going to get a Sting tag in with Darby. I mean, I think that's pretty rock solid now. It's just probably going to be Beach Bash from what it seems, or is that what it's called? Is it Beach?
I think they were able to secure the rights to Bash at the Beach.
No, they didn't. They weren't.
Oh.
I think it's called like Beach. No, not Beach Blast. I'm thinking of that old WCW one.
That would be cool if they could get their rights to Beach Blast. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I think it's Beach Bash. Damn it.
I mean, last year it was Bash at the Beach.
It's not. I don't think it's even Beach Bash. I can't fucking remember what it is.
That's not that important.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. You know what? All right. I guess you've successfully changed my mind on something, Dom. I'll give you that.
And let me note to the viewers here: I'm not drinking pee. It's whiskey and water. Okay.
Yeah, that looks like moonshine, Dominic.
Hey, suspend your disbelief.
What's next?
Let's go with this. So. We had what we thought was going to be Kenny Omega tagging with the Bucks against who would they face? Help me out here already. Oh, the Varsity Blondes and Danny Limelight.
Yes.
So we thought that they were going to get a triple tag match, and here the Don Callis, Kenny Omega pulled a fast one on the Young Bucks and got the Good Brothers in on it. They were the tag champions they were talking about to get the tags in. And so that's the match we had. So it kind of leaves us again, like, how are we supposed to feel about the Young Bucks? I know how I feel about them, and I'm sure I know how you feel about them. Marcus, what'd you think of, let's not get to the match yet, but what do you think of that whole, just that angle going?
Well, doing a turn on the Bucks, kind of like, as they did it, in a way it makes sense, because you're like, okay, well, the Young Bucks should be feuding with the Good Brothers, because because like it only makes sense. The Good Brothers are Impact Tag Team Champions, Young Bucks are AEW Tag Team Champions. This feels like a collision course. It feels like a thing that should happen. However, it makes zero sense in that the Young Bucks are completely irredeemable humans now, right? because they kicked the crap out of defenseless backstage personnel, including our old Uncle Tony.
Hey, Lynn, look, I lived up to the thing here. Hold on. Huh? Here we go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's a tremendous shirt.
Isn't that a tremendous shirt? Very happy with that purchase.
So they start out by beating up non-wrestling personnel. And then they were also completely ready to team up with these heels last week. So here they are. They're just like, yep, we're heels. We're with you guys and screw everybody. But then the heels decide that they don't want them in their group. So it's like there are no redeemable qualities for the Young Bucks now. It's like, you guys are not just heels, you're pathetic heels, because the other heels don't want anything to do with you.
And they made you look like a fool. Like,
right, they made you look like idiots. And then we can get to the finish because it sort of ties into that. But let's get to the match itself. Let me also say though, as Kenny Omega is coming out now, he's wearing his leather jacket. He's got his hair very slick. He looks like $1 million. Like, I don't care what Jim Cornette or anybody else has to say. And when it comes to pro wrestling, I respect Jim Cornette's opinion because he's got all this wrestling experience and knowledge. But I don't care what he says. Like, there's no denying that Kenny Omega looks like a star. You can't look at that guy and say like that guy is not a main eventer. So yeah, he's everything that you want in the face of a company. And so I like heel Kenny Omega, and I like him starting to lean back into that cleaner mode.
Yeah, no, like he's got that presence, and like, people can criticize like, oh, it's the shtick he's doing with the maniac fitness girls and the brooms is cheesy and stuff. I think it all ties in.
It feels like very Running Man.
Yeah, I like it.
Super high production, like phony bullshit, like just made for TV stuff.
Yeah, like
it's like, so it works out really well.
It does. And it plays into who he is, and like, just fully like just glamorous and like glomming it on, so to speak. No, I liked it. Yeah, as far as a match was concerned, Danny Limelight really stood out for that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Ricochet.
Yeah.
Like, it just he's small and compact and just very shifty. Like, I know that guy's like a free agent. He shouldn't be for long, because like he could be AEW's version of Ricochet.
He could be the AEW Cruiserweight champion, couldn't he?
I'll tell you what, Dominic, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, he would be an unbelievable Cruiserweight champion. Add him to the tournament.
Put him in there. Get him set up. No, it was good. And like, heck, Brian Pillman being mixed up with those guys, Kenny Omega, Good Brothers, and then obviously Griff Garrison. I think it's just a really good unit that they have there. I like it. I liked it. Yeah, as far as that, it's just like the Young Bucks like painted themselves in a corner with this. It's weird. I can totally buy like them having contention with one another. Like you do have contention with the Good Brothers, because heck, you were like Bullet Club members, and like your paths sort of crossed and stuff. But there's like that there can be that kind of tension that you create there. But I mean,
here's the thing, man, is like, the Good Brothers, right before they signed their WWE contract, before being released by WWE, back in like March or whatever it was, when they did all those massive cuts, apparently, they were in talks with AEW and the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks were really trying to bring them on board, but they said, no, WWE's offering us too much money. We can't leave this behind. So they went, and then they got cut from WWE. So like all the smart marks know that that's the storyline, that's a real life thing that happened. So like, why not have Kenny Omega, bring out the Good Brothers, and then they get on the stick or whatever, and they're like, hey, let's bring the Bucks out here. Like, we're back together. Let's bring the band back together. The easy thing to do here is have the Bucks come out and be like, no, like we gave you guys the opportunity to be with us, and you chose the money. Like, you guys sold out, and you're selling out right now. And you're coming into our territory. We're the tag team champions. And you guys have the nerve to come in here wearing those belts and pretend like you're world champions. Like, that's such an easy storyline. And they didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm like, it puts the Bucks, Matt and Nick in a bad position of like, you could be baby faces, you could be really good heels, but you chose to be heels that got played the fool, and now you're like, now nobody. Why are we supposed to like you? Because you already showed your colors by like super kicking the Varsity Blondes, like when they were there, like you aligned, and now they don't even want you. What's happening? So, I'm still willing to wait it out, but it's not a good setup, especially if you're just a viewer of the show, where it's like you don't know the ins and outs of the business, and even if you do know the ins and outs of like what happened, it's still kind of pretty unclear and muddy.
And then they made it even worse at the end, because at the end John Moxley comes out, right? And then he's getting his ass beat. But then instead of having the Young Bucks come out and say, like, you know what, these guys screwed us over and screw them, instead of having them come out, the Lucha Bros come out. It's like, what the hell do they have to do with this? Why are they coming out to save John? Like, they're friends with Pac. Are they friends with John Moxley too? What's going on here? So you bring out the Lucha Brothers, which is ridiculous. And then at the end, the Bucks come out and they're protecting Kenny Omega. After Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers just like snub them.
They're trying to like settle down everything or calm it all down or whatever. And
so why did they disrespect them at the start of the match? And why are the Bucks protecting Omega? Like, nothing makes any sense here. Neither scenario makes any sense. So it's like,
I can buy maybe like the Lucha Brothers coming out because they kind of more have a babyface turn. They've made more of a clear babyface turn with Pac. I can buy that. And I can buy them like John Moxley kind of being on an island of his own. And then, these guys kind of see some, similarities in that. So they come out and, and they have previous beef with the Young Bucks. So I can buy into all that. I can buy into the Lucha Brothers.
All I can think is that the Good Brothers need to go over against an established tag team before facing the Young Bucks, theoretically. So the established tag team that they're getting is the Lucha Bros, which fine. I think that's fine, but like just very sloppily done, sloppily handled. Tony Khan is generally pretty tight with all this sort of stuff. When it comes to the Young Bucks, basically throughout their time in AEW so far, it is not tight at all. And all I can think is maybe
it's just been.
All I can think is that the Young Bucks are getting their hands in it and saying like, hey, Tony, that's a good idea, but how about we do this? And I want to do this. And next thing you know, they're taking Tony Khan's probably carefully written storyline and they're screwing it up.
It's like it peaks into the valleys and then it like just stays, it plateaus and then it peaks again. And then it's just such a weird, there's no consistency to it. And, you want to see some sort of rhythm and just some sort of answer with this crap. Like, I thought we had that answer last week. I was like, okay, they're on a path to bad guys. Let's go with that. Yeah, I can buy into this. And then that good. And that was totally a payoff too for like how they acted beforehand. Now, okay, that all makes sense now. They were like sketchy and they show their true colors by doing what they did. So, but now it's like, I don't want to sympathize with those guys. I don't because look at what they did. Like, so it's just like, it's a very, very odd setup. And, something with this, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news today, but, obviously Impact Hard to Kill is coming this Saturday, tomorrow. And I'll be covering it for the website. And the main event is Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers taking on Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns. But what happened here was Alex Shelley had to drop out. He's not in the match anymore due to, what did they say? I can't remember the term, but unavoidable circumstances was the reason they gave. So he's out of the match. They replace him with Impact's Moose. And so he's out of the match. But, part of the intrigue of seeing this pay-per-view was getting to see Kenny Omega tag with the Good Brothers. We got that on Wednesday. But also another huge intrigue of that match was seeing the Motor City Machine Guns go up against the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. Like, I think that was a big selling point for this. Not getting any of that now. And so, puts this Impact main event kind of in a rough spot. But also, from the perspective of AEW Dynamite and how that was presented, I would have really liked to see Gallows and Anderson talk at some point during this show, like say something, because we know their personalities and they have them and, everything like that, but show it to the AEW audience, get that, get those viewers engaged in these guys. And not only that, but get them engaged for the pay-per-view coming on Saturday.
That's the only place where I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay. Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessary to have them talk, especially because both guys are legitimately hilarious. And so they're trying to be heels. So
they
I
can
think
still be heels. Isn't Kenny kind of hilarious too sometimes? But he's still a heel.
I don't think I've ever considered Kenny hilarious.
Well, humorous. Like he does humorous shit. Like where it's like, he's kind of like, well, you haven't watched Impact too much. He does a lot of more humorous stuff kind of on Impact. He was saying his nips were hard and shit like that. He's out in the cold.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Gallows, especially, basically everybody in the business says like he's one of the funniest humans they've ever met. So it's like, I don't know if it's a good idea if this guy's trying to get over as a heel for him to get on the mic and pop the audience.
Well, he knows how to be a heel though too. Like he's never not been a heel before, so they can do that when it's necessary. And in this case, I think they could. I would, it's just.
I think he can accomplish every bit as much with his actions when it comes to being a heel.
Well, I don't know if it really conveyed super duper well because it was just so abrupt. They came in and then they did. I would have liked to see something, just something like, I don't know. It's
sorry to interrupt you. Before we get off this, I did want to say one other thing, and that's it. I've been seeing it with Pillman Jr., but this week I really saw it with Griff Garrison as well. I think both of them are future stars. Like before, I was just like Brian Pillman Jr. He's the guy in that tag team. Griff Garrison's he's just like his partner. But no, dude, like those guys are both good. They both got incredible looks. And they're both really natural in the ring. They're both very, very good. I can kind of see them eventually breaking up and almost doing like a Sean Marty sort of a deal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I think, and not to say like either one will be a Marty because I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't think that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, but like I can see it like, like I said, I could say, I think I said this when Pillman debuted on Dynamite was like, I could see him being a very good heel. Like this plays up to him turning on Griff Garrison at some point, like way down the road. But
let me say though, Griff Garrison, he's got like one of the things that my wife says every time that Griff Garrison is on the screen, she's like, he has beautiful hair, and he does. Got like this beautiful head of hair, and it's like, originally I was with you where I was just like, oh, Brian Pillman Jr., he'd be a really good heel. He'd be good in like the Shawn kind of role. But the more I see it, the more I'm just like, this dude is like, he'd be very easy for dudes to hate, because he's got this like super girlish kind of pretty hair, and he's a good looking dude. He's like really tall. And it's like, if he came out as like the heel, just like healing on,
you get him like a his own Sherry Martel.
It could really work.
Yeah. No, either way, I think it's a good one. I think
they could go wrong.
Yeah. Either way, they couldn't go wrong. I don't think. No, that's a great point. No, it was it's just a good match overall. It's just like that whole execution of the angle and stuff. I don't know. Like you gotta clear it up a little bit here for me. Let's see here. What do I want to say? Let me say something that I am enjoying, and this was only a brief thing with the little clip an interview they did with the Dark Order and getting Hangman Page into the mix. I fucking love it. Actually, I think him. Like them kind of defining themselves like we want to honor Brody and like start doing the right thing in a lot of ways. And like, then Page comes in and he's kind of buddying up with them a little bit. And he's like, you know what? I'll let you know next week. I think it's setting them off in a pretty good path. And the path that makes the most sense right now. Cause I mean, like you see John Silver there and he's like, acting all fanboy with Hangman and like, it's pretty funny and babyface like, so, I like that segment. Marcus, what did you think?
Yeah, well, I think that now there's a sense of solidarity when it comes to them all being baby faces. Because before it felt like, okay, Silver and Reynolds are baby faces, Colt Cabana is a baby face, but basically everybody else is like an evil heel. You got Stu Grayson, he's evil. Evil Uno, the evil's right there. And Tay Conti and her partner, well, mostly your partner, Anna Jay. Like Anna Jay was very evil. So it's like, all right, I don't know what's going on because some of these very evil humans are hanging out with some just dorky humans. But so I think that what happened in the match with Serena Deeb and Tay Conti kind of spelled it out, because at the end of the match, there was like a very kind of sentimental moment between Tay and Anna Jay. And so I'm like, okay, well, so everybody's baby faces. So that much I can at least get on board with, where I'm like, okay, if we're all going to be baby faces, then fine. Okay. I see where the angle's going. And I'm now starting to come around to the Dark Order situation.
And let's look at it this way. Let's say Hangman joins Dark Order. Could you see him as the leader of Dark Order? And would you like that?
Yes and no. Like I said, when it comes to Hangman, I really think that the way that you push him as a star, again, big, rugged, good-looking baby face, loner is the angle that you take with that guy. Not a guy who's going to be swayed by anybody, and not a guy who's going to hang out with somebody who's like literally a fan of his in John Silver. I love John Silver, but like I just, to me, it doesn't work. It's not the right way to push Hangman.
Now, let me say this. I'm with you on that, but I feel that they can table that for now. And this is a fine angle to put him in for a while, is as like the leader of this faction. And then you eventually do make him go off on his own. Like, I think if he's the leader of something, he's still kind of has that rebellious outlaw attitude. Like, you can still play that off into that. I feel that's okay to do.
Look at it this way, though, Dom. Like, let's say that you're watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right? And Clint Eastwood, the man with no name, this loner, this guy who can handle any situation, no problem. He's a badass. What if they did a flashback scene and that guy's like, he's like dancing with like a mariachi band, right? You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, is that the same guy?
But I mean, like, if we're going to that route, like, this is a different, he's not totally in a Western here. And like, yeah, Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name, Blondie, is clearly defined as the man with no name and just a loner traveler. While Hangman certainly has a lot, like, different layers to him that we've seen before. And we're going to continue to see, like, even before AEW was a thing, like, he had a personality and stuff like that, and a sense of humor. So it's a little bit different. And plus, you look at other Westerns and stuff. I mean, outlaws did have friends, or like main characters, and those people that you rooted for did have friends. Like, you look at Rio Bravo, the Magnificent Seven, anything like that. Like, there's certain things you can really play off of, I think, for the time being. And then, like, because listen, we have a loner right now. We have that loner role, and that's filled by Jon Moxley. And to an extent, Darby Allin too. Like, if you don't count the whole alliance, like pseudo alliance here with Sting going on. So I mean, those roles are kind of filled right now. I think you can kind of play this off with Hangman and make him. It's not going to damage him if you make him this leader of Dark Order. There's some humor to it. You keep Hangman fresh and kind of like this kind of role of maybe showing like the Dark Order a certain way of handling shit, and like gives Hangman something to do, gives Dark Order a purpose and a direction.
Well, damn it, Dominic, you brought me around again. That's twice now in one podcast.
Look at that! Wow.
The way that you did it though was by mentioning Rio Bravo, and I was like, nobody in there had like goofy friends, but then I was like, wait a minute,
Stumpy.
John Wayne was good friends with Stumpy back there at the jail.
Hey, and, the old prospector.
he was like, better watch out there. he was the comedy relief for the movie, because it was a very serious movie, and John Wayne, this very serious badass dude, but he had like this goofy friend that he would go back and be silly with. And I was like, damn it.
Hey, dude, right. Dude, what's happening?
All right, Dom, that's two. You've gotten over on me today. I'm off my game. I'm off my game.
Let's see if I can do threes here coming up at some point. You touched upon this. We might as well touch on this too. The women's match, Serena Deeb and Tay Conti. That was really good. I liked it a lot. JR, Tony, they all put Serena Deeb over big time. Tay Conti looked really good. I like the judo aspect she brings to the ring. Yeah, man, I like the match. What do you think?
Dude, what a coming out for Ty Conti here. She was kind of in the periphery for me, because it's very easy for her to get lost in the shuffle when you've got so many strong females on the program now. Most specifically Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. And let me say, perhaps it had a lot to do with Serena Deeb. In fact, I'm sure it had a lot to do with her being in the ring with Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is incredible. She's unbelievable in that ring. And like, as somebody with as much experience as she has, it would have been very, very easy for her to just eat up Ty Conti and get herself over in the ring. But she helped Tay Conti or Ty Conti, whatever, however the hell you
Ty
say
Conte,
her name.
Ty, I think it's Ty Conte.
Yeah. So it would have been really easy for Deeb to eat her up as a veteran and somebody who's got all this experience. She could have really eaten her up and embarrassed her and put herself over in the ring. And she didn't do it. She was very generous with her ring time and TV time with Ty Conti. And I mean, both of them came out the better as a result of it. Coming out for Ty Conti. And as far as Serena Deeb is concerned, you know where I stand. I think that Thunder Rosa is the best on the face of the planet right now, and Serena Deeb is a very close second. I wish that so there's a big difference though in what they present outside of their ring work, and by that I mean promo ability, and general like kind of intensity and presence. Like Thunder Rosa, she's a good promo, she has really good intensity, and she's the best wrestler in the world. Serena Deeb, she's an incredible technician, much like Bret Hart, but also much like Bret Hart, not a ton of personality, and that's
we haven't really seen her talk too much either.
No, well, like she did one promo and it was not good, as I recall. She did one like pre-match sort of a thing, and she's Bret Hart, like she's very kind of like stiff and had a little bit of a hard time. But when did Bret Hart start shining in promos, Dominic? When he became a heel. And I think that if you put her in that position, especially with FTR and Tully Blanchard,
yeah, dude, I still love that idea.
I'm just saying, man, she's the NWA Women's Champion. So NWA Tully Blanchard, there's a connection.
Boom.
And NWA Women's Champion, she's old school. These guys are old school. For the love of God, Tony Khan, Cruiserweight Championship, and pair Serena Deeb with FTR.
I like it. You know what you could do too to really hammer this point home? Just here, you bring Nick Aldis in and he gets in on the group too.
Could you imagine that? Man, that would be incredible.
Man,
and Nick Aldis could be like an in and out sort of a guy, but whenever he's in, he's with FTR.
He's in the territory. You have a couple matches, and then he does some nefarious things, or just gets out of there and leaves, and then comes back later on. I think it'd be pretty cool.
I'm telling you. And Serena Deeb, I think she'd make a very good heel. Let's pull the trigger on it.
I like it. Let's see what we got next here. Let's go with the opener. The opener, it was very different, obviously, from a pace style of what we're used to seeing as openers, the tag out openers, but Eddie Kingston versus Pac. And I liked it. I liked that one too, man. It was a good start. Different start. We had Eddie Kingston come out, and they had a little promo that he did, and they played up him and Pac a little bit. It was good stuff, man.
Yeah, this felt like a real brawl. I remember being a kid at the YMCA, and some of the older white trash kids there, it would like get into like a physical altercation. Yeah, the bow hunks out there up there in rural PA. They'd get into just some raw bone redneck teenage boys at the YMCA just getting into a scuffle. And I remember getting the same feeling as I got before this match. Like, all right, like let's see how this plays out. It felt a lot like that. I do have to say, as like, how much I think of Eddie Kingston. Unbelievable promo, unbelievable presence, pretty damn good in the ring. I'm getting sick of that go ahead and hit me spot that he does in every match. I don't think it needs to be a part of every match. He should really consider moderating that. Aside from that, though, I thought it was really good. He had some great facials during the match, especially when he's like sitting on that top turnbuckle and he looks directly at the camera with like that like sort of dazed look on his face.
Dang it! See, I missed so much of this stuff. Because I'm writing.
Yeah, you should really go back and watch it because it popped me. Because it was just like it was almost as though I think he got like hit or something. He was like sitting on the top rope and he's just like he looks directly at the hard camera. It's like this guy was made for TV.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was good, and Pac going over was the right call. Because Pac just returned, and Pac he pops off the screen. Again, my wife was watching it with me, and she was like, that guy's not very attractive. She was like, but he's very good in the ring.
Dude, I just could not believe how like amazing he is. Like from like the ring work, I think was it JR that said, maybe it was Tony that said, no, Tony said he could be the best pound for pound wrestler we have in AEW, and I think you could make an extremely solid case for that.
I'm honestly starting to think more and more that Thunder Rosa is the best pound for pound wrestler in AEW, but I mean he's in the running for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, so here's the question though, yes, him going over is the right call. But what is next for Eddie Kingston?
That's what I was curious too. I was curious about that too.
Pac has now been set up for a feud with Lance Archer, which cool. I like, especially with the size disparagement. I think that could be a very interesting situation.
Now, I'm not totally sold on it that being a feud quite yet. Like, I kind of feel like they're like Archer came out and was like, you better get on the same page kind of thing. But I don't know if that, and like, they're both kind of been being pitched as baby faces too at this moment. So it's, I'm not totally like, I can see them fighting, but I don't know if they're going to feud.
Feels like a feud to me. I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes, but it feels like there's a clear direction for those guys. And I'm just wondering what direction Kingston moves in now.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
It is hard to say. I don't know. I'd like to see, at some point here, I'd like to see him get involved in the TNT title picture mix. I think he'd be good foe for like Darby Allin or somebody like that,
Yeah. Maybe he could be the guy to take the strap off him. I don't know.
That'd be cool. Yeah, you could do that. This is one of my favorite segments of the night, I think, was the Inner Circle. I don't know how you felt about it, but I liked it. And them kind of like having this friendly triple tag, 6-man tag set up for next week. And just Sammy Hagar, pretty funny. I liked that. Marcus, what were your thoughts on all that?
I thought it was weak.
Did you?
I think most of what the Inner Circle does at this point is coming off as pretty weak. There's the infighting, I guess, has some intrigue to it, where it's, they're trying to establish who's going to be the tag team of the Inner Circle. I hope that this ends with Santana and Ortiz breaking off and doing their own thing. But I mean, at this point, it's becoming cringy. And, Chris Jericho, every time he comes out, he's starting to look more and more like that evil guy in the painting from Ghostbusters 2.
Vigo.
You are like the buzzing of flies to him. But yes, it's, I don't know, man. It's becoming cringy to me.
No, I liked it. I thought it was a good dynamic between everybody. I thought, it didn't really, nobody really so it didn't give you any indication of where it all was kind of going, I don't think, except for like the tag match ultimately coming up next week. But I like that they got paired off and everything like that. I did like how they tease like dissension really breaking down, everything kind of breaking down, but then they kind of find solidarity and, okay, hey, yeah, let's have this tag match and see who's the tag team of the Inner Circle. I just thought it was set up, and I thought they set up Sammy and Hagar pretty nice. Like, I kind of like that dynamic going on with those two. It's something that kind of, and like him, Sammy calling Jericho a tag slut or whatever. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was good. No, and like MJF calling out, he's like, what did he say? He was like, oh, New Year's resolution was like he wants everybody to be on the same page and let's get rid of fat people. That was funny.
It felt like there were a lot of jokes. It was like watching bad stand-up to me. A lot of jokes.
I don't know. I liked it.
None of them were popping me.
I popped for the lines.
I disagree. I think it sucked.
Okay. I disagree with you.
And I guess we've covered everything except for Miro and Chuck Taylor, right?
No, I think there's a couple more things here we did not touch upon. Let's see, we did do the Dark Order. What'd you think of the Matt Hardy brief stuff going on there?
Weird, stilted. Yeah, I think is the right word for it. Like
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Didn't feel well rehearsed, and which is a good thing in many cases, but in this case, I think they could have used a little more rehearsal. And yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Again, feels directionless. It feels like some storylines are really hitting and really popping, and some just are not there. If I always refer back to WCW. If this is WCW, that storyline is Glacier versus Wrath and Mortis.
Oh, wow, that's some
Yes.
shade toss that some
Just
talented
very much on the periphery. Nobody cares. If it wasn't on the show, I wouldn't care. If it is on the show, I still don't care.
You didn't care about Mortis? I liked Mortis.
Well, Mortis was, as we came to realize how incredible he was in the ring and the unbelievable innovative stuff he was doing. I mean, you have to admit though, Mortis really became something when he became Canyon.
Yeah, it's true. That's a fact. I really liked Canyon when that happened. Like when he left Mortis to become Canyon, I was like, dude, this guy's kick ass. I like him. Like
should have happened sooner. And I wish somebody was rewriting WCW so it could happen sooner.
Oh, wait, is somebody doing that?
We'll get there at the end of the show. Stay tuned, folks.
So we are missing a few things like Jurassic Express versus FTR.
Oh, how did I miss that?
How did you miss that? I'm very curious to get your thoughts on that.
Well, you know how I feel about FTR, and you know how I feel about watching Marco Stunt just get destroyed. So yes. It was good, man. I thought they respected the business with the match, as FTR always does, where they're just like, look, if this guy wants me to sell for him, he's a lot smaller than I am. So if he wants me to sell for him, he's got to earn it. And they made him, like they forced him to earn it. Like if he's going to hit, like you better lay it in, make me sell for you. You know what I mean? And that was very much like the vibe that was coming from those guys the whole time. I thought it was good. Dude, basically anything that FTR is involved in at this point, they can do no wrong. Like they're both so good. They're both such incredible technicians in the ring. It's they can. I feel like Tony Khan could be like, hey, this guy off the street, he wants to do a match. You guys mind? And they could be like, yeah, we'll get him over.
Yeah, you know what we'll do? We could make that work.
Yeah. So I thought it was good for FTR. I'm still like the Lucha Express situation. I'm done with it. Express. Yeah, whatever they call themselves. There's Luchasaurus. There's dinosaurs. There's a Jungle Boy. I'm done with it. I'm ready for Jungle Boy to become Jungle Jack Perry and break off as a single.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, I think that there needs to be some sort of development with that trio, and I'm with you on the Misfit / Abaddon / Sinister Minister idea we pitched, but yeah, I really do like FTR a lot too. And I think they played it very well. I was like, with Marco Stunt and the spots he did, very athletic and things like that. I was curious, I was kind of like, am I able to buy into this? Like, is it like him able to do some of this stuff to FTR and to Dax? I think they played it off for the most part pretty darn well. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they respected the business through all of it, and they forced him to earn it. Like if when they were selling for him, it was because he came at him with a stiff drop kick.
Yeah,
so that made it a little bit more believable. One of the things the thing that always comes to mind whenever I see Jungle Boy in the ring, not just his physique, but just his natural ability, he reminds me of like Kevin Von Erich, young Kevin Von Erich.
Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, that's good. It's good.
And so that's why I want to break off as a single. Like, let's just pretend for a second that a time machine exists. Kevin Von Erich comes through it. You've got young, 80s Kevin Von Erich, and he's in AEW right now. Would you put him in a stable? I wouldn't. Like he'd be for me, he would be a rising solo.
Unless he had his brothers with him. No, probably not.
Yeah, no, if he's on his own, then he's a rising solo star in whatever organization you put him in. Why wouldn't you put Jungle Boy in that same position?
Yeah, I think it's time to do something with that. I agree with you. The waiting room, Britt Baker, Reba or Rebel, and Cody Rhodes is the guest. He barely gets a word in edgewise before.
I don't think he said one thing the whole time.
I don't think he did either. And Jade Cargill comes out and slaps him hard. And then Red Velvet comes out and they slap each other very hard. And chaos ensues. It was okay. I think the show stealer was Rebel in that. Fucking her laughing was.
Oh, that laugh was just absurd.
Oh my god! So it was so funny. Oh my god! All I can think is like Ed McMahon. It's like perfect Ed McMahon kind of stuff.
I think that's what she was trying for.
Yeah,
she was
I think
nailing it. Yeah, she was nailing it. She came off really well. What's the girl's name? Cargill. Like she is massive, dude. Like, she's
unbelievably like well built.
super jacked and very, very tall. Like when Red Velvet came out and she like got in her face, like I wanted to be able to reach through. Like if it was a shoot, I'd be like, hey, get the hell away from her. Like do not fuck with that woman. She's enormous. You know what I mean? Like just like the size disparagement. It's like she could probably literally tear your head off your body. Like walk the other direction. So it's yes. I mean, like I said, as of right now, she is very much Lex Luger. You know, great body, incredible look, very little to offer on the mic, and who knows what she has to offer in the ring. Probably a lot of lariats, not unlike Lex Luger. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, evidently, she's going to wind up in the ring with Red Velvet. Red Velvet's a good worker, so you know, hopefully she can carry her through a match, or who knows, maybe this Cargill woman is Thunder Rosa. We'll see.
We'll see. You know, we'll see. I think
but never let her touch a microphone again.
At least for a while. Maybe she just needs to get a little bit of or experience under her belt, just behind the scenes here. Like work on that a little. She's not the worst I've ever seen for sure. That's but like but like definitely needs a little bit of fine tuning to say the least.
Her mouthpiece.
That's true too. You can do that. Who doesn't need a mouthpiece is Britt Baker. I thought she was very funny in this too. A lot of the shade that she tossed. Hey, your child's gonna get an action figure before I do.
I thought that was good. She talked about Cody's fake teeth.
Yeah. Bad neck tattoo, all that stuff. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, her and Reba together, what a pairing, dude. It's very entertaining. And then Thunder Rosa cut a little promo there, which I thought was nice. And like you want to see Thunder Rosa whoop her ass.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great match when it comes to it. At Beach Bash. I want to say it's Beach Bash. I hope it's Beach Bash.
I think it's pretty great that, you know, AEW they recognized, okay, something's not working with Britt Baker as our top female babyface.
Right.
And they pivoted and it worked.
It worked very well. So very well.
Stand
out, and then like you pair up with Tony here and there too. It's just another unique dynamic to come in. That's where this shirt came into play, and everything. So I liked it. I think that might be it.
Dominic Miro.
Oh yes,
Chuck Taylor.
Yes, Miro and Chuck.
Chuck Taylor's his young boy now.
Yeah, they said Butler. They weren't saying.
They started with young boy, and actually, whenever Miro got him to tap out, you could see him like shouting in his ear, which was funny. He was like, "You're my young boy."
I didn't see that.
Yes. Yeah, it was great because Miro like looked really happy, like genuinely like, I'm not going to abuse this. I'm just happy that you are my young boy right now.
This is going to be fun.
We're going to have a very good time. But yeah, so I thought that was great. Dude, I know that you like Chuck Taylor. A lot of people like Chuck Taylor. I can't get behind it, man. Like he looks like the drunk out of shape guy that you get into a fight with at McDonald's at 2 a.m. after the bar is closed. And the worst part is you win the fight against this guy. Because he looks like he is never like, if he goes to the gym, he just looks around, he just checks it out and then walks out of there.
I mean, I liked the match. Like I thought it told a decent story, and I like it that it's going like at the end, like Miro's staring down Orange Cassidy, and then like, it's I thought they played into that pretty darn well. I think they set it up pretty good ultimately.
It was like the worst kind of juxtaposition as far as like look is concerned though, because you've got Chuck Taylor coming out. He's wearing a t-shirt because he's out of shape. He's got bands around his biceps, which just don't exist. No biceps. And then Miro comes out and he's a savage of a human. And I'm like, squash match. Like, if we're gonna do this, fine, but like treat him like a jobber. Just wipe the mat with his face. And that's not what happened, because you gotta get Chuck over a little bit, I guess, especially if you're gonna put him in like a butler position. But yeah, it's not necessarily what I wanted to see, as far as him getting all that offense. But he needed to save face. But to me, the best way to use Miro is unstoppable force. Like Miro, like he could be in a Goldberg type position. I'm not saying give him a streak. I'm not saying make him this unbeatable monster, but I'm saying make him appear to be this absolute monster. Like
that's where he should be positioned, honestly.
Guy that nobody wants to get into the ring with.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Like that makes total sense.
But even though I want that so bad, him shouting, "You're my young boy," made me laugh.
It's like when me and you would get into a fight. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Like me and you getting
for the longest time. I can't remember what I would say to you. What would I say? Oh, that's right. I would get you in I would pin you down and I'd have you in like a prone position and I would like touch my face to like your ear.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm too damn strong.
And then like it would get to a point where it's like I wouldn't want to give up, but like I would still try to talk trash and you would just be kicking me. And just be that and get to that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of remind me of that a little bit.
Dominic, you've never won up me in a physical altercation. Never.
That's
once.
not true. I Eddie Kingston you.
That's not one upping me. That's me allowing.
And I pinned you clean. I remember that too. I pinned you clean in Myrtle Beach.
That has never happened.
Fat Marcus had his shoulders to the mat.
I'm sorry, Dominic. It never happened. I was a lot heavier back then, so I was probably just that was like a turtle on his shell.
I got the pin. That's all that matters, man. The W is what mattered.
Any means necessary.
I bested you, and I could best you now, but I choose not to. Hey,
we can put that to the test on video at some point if you want.
Yeah, we could. We could do that. And right. There would be no editing needed on my end because what the results would be. I would be happy to edit for you though, because it would be kind of embarrassing, I'm sure.
I'm not saying I'm anywhere even in the same universe as strong as Brian
me.
Cage,
yeah, you're right.
As Brian Cage, but I think that I could pick you up and fling you 15 feet like he did to Darby Allin.
You could not.
I feel like I could do that. Yes.
No, I don't. I feel not. I would chop you down like a tree, Marcus. You that's what would happen. And I give the hand jibs. You forget about that. That's like your weakness.
I don't know if that's something that you should be saying.
The hand jibs. Oh yeah, that does sound kind of bad, doesn't it? What's going on?
You can edit this out. I thought I just woke up.
No, it's okay. Your mic's kind of fading out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think I might have woke up the baby.
What was that?
I think I woke up the baby.
Oh, trouble.
Yeah, we can wrap this up though.
We can. Okay, you know what? We'll that makes sense because we'll just put the draft on. Draft will start up next week, we promise. AEW draft, fire back up again.
We'll be back with it.
Marcus, I think there's something coming up here soon, isn't there, with you? What's going on here? You teased it earlier.
This Sunday, Dominic. Sunday.
Well, I want to talk to you about that. Don't promote that yet, but let's
All right, cut that. Yeah, Dominic, there's something interesting going on, and that's that I am going to be recording this podcast for WrestleZone. It's going to be entitled WCW Rewritten. And in case you've been asleep, in case you've been under a rock, not paying attention, this podcast, we're starting at Starrcade 1997, where WCW started to really go off the rails. I'm rebooking Starrcade 1997 to a degree. There's a fixed card, so I'm not going to mess with that. But I'm starting there. I'm going all the way through 98, 99, basically until I get tired of it.
You're doing every Nitro too, right? That's going.
I'm not doing Thunder. I'm not doing Saturday night. I'm sure as hell not doing house
Worldwide.
shows.
You're not doing worldwide?
No, but I am doing Nitro, and I'm going to be doing pay-per-views. So I'm not going to acknowledge the existence of Thunder or Saturday night or worldwide or any of that crap. So yeah, I'll explain the rules on the podcast, but I'm really excited about it. I've got some great ideas. There were a lot of missed opportunities in WCW, and we are going to rectify those situations. And I'm going to book WCW like everybody wished it had been.
Ooh, man, you are a WCW fan to the T. So I mean, look at your fucking wall behind you. Oh, present it. Yes, present it. Just got a D Malenko not too long ago.
I did D Malenko, Steven Regal. It's all coming together. Done. Everything's coming up, Marcus.
Did you see that the WWE released? They're going to release. Is Showdown Elite figures, or are they strictly basic? Do you know?
Yeah, those are basics. So I don't know if I'm going to get it, but they've got Nature Boy, which I don't have up here because they don't have 96 through 99. I collect WCW 96 to 99. Elites, and they don't have a Ric Flair, so I don't have Ric Flair on my wall.
Yeah, I think they got to make one here soon, right? Like WCW version.
Good thing.
Don't they have like a long-haired Flair? Like,
yeah, but he wasn't long-haired Flair from 96 to 99, Dominic.
Man.
I know.
Gosh, is that your white whale now?
It is. That's what I want. I want that and a Roddy Piper.
Oh man, Roddy Piper would be good. I'm trying to think who else you could get.
Well, I don't think anybody listening gives a damn about this. Dominic, how do they follow you on the Twitter? And what's going on with you?
What do you mean? Oh,
what are you doing over there?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on the Twitter at Dominic D'Angelo. As far as stuff I have going on, there's an interview that I set up for Monday. I won't spoil it, but it will be the next Meet the Wrestler interview I have going on. And then I'm trying to think if there's another thing I have happening. No, but you know what? We just did publish the interview I did with Mike Dawkins, the gimmick attorney of adfreeshows.com. Very, very cool interview, in depth. We go through some neat things. I asked him some questions regarding independent contracting and how if WWE wrestlers can break those contracts, certain things like that, because of kind of that gray area of what they actually are. And he breaks it down for you in a very cool way. He's got a really neat story about Sting, and talks about meeting Conrad and his unique way of doing that, and just kind of plugging away at like making his kind of dream come true in a lot of ways. It's really, really cool. And so give a listen to that. We're just still doing our Best of the Business series that Bill Pritchard has been helming, and he just published the interview he did with Impact EVP Scott D'Amore. So obviously Impact Hard to Kill is coming up this weekend, and I will be covering that live. So if you want to just tune in and read what's happening, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to handle Alex Shelley's absence. It sucks, man. Alex Shelley, is my favorite TNA guy, and
he's awesome.
He's not in this match that I wanted to be seeing, so that's kind of a bummer. But all the best to Shelley and all that stuff. So as far as anything else goes, no, just check out WrestleZone wrap up we got going on. Ked Kellen, I've been on there a little bit more. So me and him have broke down some stuff that was going on this week and talked about the news, and so give that a tune in. And as far as anything else goes, there's just the big key is like this video if you're on YouTube, if you're checking out YouTube, subscribe to the WrestleZone YouTube channel. I don't think we say that at all on the show, obviously.
Definitely
but
do that.
Yeah, and so but yeah, if you want to tune into the podcast, just type in WrestleZone on your podcast feed of choice. We'll pop up. This will be on your feed. You get a ton of free content that we provide for you, and fresh new stuff. Like Marcus is going to be WCW rewritten, like he said. I do Meet the Wrestler. Bill Pritchard does a ton of interviews on there, and we just keep daily news breaks by Kev Kellum. So a lot of good stuff churning out there. So give that a subscription. And Marcus, how do they follow you on Twitter?
You can follow me on the Twitter at Marcus P. D'Angelo. And Dominic, you did me the incredible honor of making me a really nice logo for this WCW Rewritten podcast. And I don't know, maybe you'll let me share that on there sometime here in the near future.
Yeah, no, I think we can definitely do that. It's fun to make, and it's a little tip of the cap to our youth. So there you go.
Absolutely. You guys will see it very soon. Dominic, are we ever going to get a damn guest on this podcast?
Yes, that's what I wanted. Thank you for saying that. Next week, we have scheduled comedian.
It's on the schedule.
On the schedule. Next week, we have scheduled Dan St. Germain. He's the host of Total F and Marks podcast on All Things Comedy Network. And he's been at StarCast. He was part of the Bruce Pritchard roast and all that stuff. Super, super funny dude. Really looking forward to having him on. It should be a pretty fun dynamic next week. So it will, again, be not 2, but 3 Dynamite Dudes next week. If all things go
fantastic.
So
fantastic. Could not be more excited. This is a guy who's certainly, his name is growing as a comedian, and he's got a very successful podcast there. So couldn't be more thrilled to have a guy like him on 2 Dynamite Dudes, making it 3 Dynamite Dudes.
Make it a 3 Dynamite Dudes. Yep, another week. So tune in next week. It should be a fun one, and we'll also pick up that AEW draft. Round 4 is it coming up, or is it round 5, Marcus? I think it's round 5.
I believe it's round 4, Dominic.
Oh, okay, maybe it is round 4. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But cool. Hey, yes, thank you for listening and or watching, whatever you're doing. Hey, but you know what? We'll catch you next week, gang. Huh? How's that sound? Go Jets!
Absolutely.
Go Jets!
Hey guys, keep checking us out. We really appreciate you jumping in here and downloading the podcast, giving us listens, giving us likes. Thank you for all the support. And hey, let's continue to review this together, and let's make it a community, guys. Weigh in, give a shit.
Weigh in. Hey, we have an email. We have an email if you want to dynamitedudes@gmail.com. You can always send in. Just shout us out on Twitter, or like at 2 Dynamite Dudes too. That's another Twitter that you can go to. But just let us know. Give us some feedback, or trash us. I don't give a shit. It's we're up for whatever, man.
If you think we've said anything ridiculous, go ahead, hit us with it. I'll try to not ether you publicly on Twitter. I'll give you a fucking break. You can trash us. If you wanted to comment on what a slapdick my brother Dominic here is,
or fine. Degenerate what he is. I think he's a pure degenerate and just scum of the earth, essentially. So
hey, fair enough.
We don't always see eye to eye, but we're kind of connected by blood.
When it comes to people trashing us, neither of us care. So
I don't give a shit. You could trash him all you want. Like he deserves it, honestly, I feel.
Honestly, and I'm starting to think I'm coming around to the idea that I probably do deserve it.
Marcus, do you think I'm do you think I'm an angry person? Somebody said I was an angry person this week, and
I don't want to get into that, but anybody who's going to post something negative about a well-known wrestling figure and then call you an angry person for defending the situation, seems like they need to reevaluate their own values.
And I like to fact check. That's all. And I was just that's how it goes,
But hey, it's, we don't pay too much attention to lesser mortals anyways, so let him be about his own business.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we try to give Mark Madden a little bit of razzmatazz here, but screw him too,
Oh, geez. Speaking of lesser mortals, certainly not in volume though. My goodness.
Wow.
Nah, you can cut that part. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, gang, and we'll catch you next week with Daniel St. Germain.
Yep. See you guys.
Adios.